For celebrities, a star here on the sidewalk used to be the ultimate marker of success. But things have changed. Today you can almost wonder if a big social media following is more important than a star at the iconic Walk of Fame here in Hollywood. My name is Kjersti, and over the last 8 years as a journalist, I've interviewed countless A-listers about their relationship to social media.
I picture Twitter on a pager, which I know is also antiquated. I don't know where you Twitter, but...
A lot of these actors used to avoid the paparazzi, but today they're sharing their most intimate moments on social media.
I get to be vocal, outspoken. I get to show my gratitude, but also I get to post pictures of my dog.
It allows me to be able to communicate with fans very quickly without a publicist's, involvement.
But really what it is this kind of strange social awareness that you kind of have to have as an actor now.
But what are the real consequences when you invite the public into your private life?
Daddy, do you like social media?
What happens when the magic and the mystery is stripped off and the stars become just like us?
I think the relationship between the fans and the stars has become much more intimate than it was in decades past. I think that there used to be a fourth wall. I think that there was this feeling maybe that celebrities were, inaccessible, much like the Queen of England, where they lived this fabulous life of, the rich and famous, but that wasn't really a life that related to ours on a day-to-day basis. But I always like to use the example of Us Weekly's feature, Stars, They're Just Like Us, and I feel like that's something that social media has amplified on a level that even the magazine couldn't have predicted 10 years ago.
I like that, it kind of gives you an opportunity to take back your own narrative a bit, and not let other people kind of tell your life story for you. You can kind of go, yeah, well, I'm just gonna I'll share with you what I want to share with you, and that's probably more authentic.
Social media is a tool that you can use to really speak for yourself, to represent yourself much better than anybody else can.
I really fought it for a long time, but then once I realized that you get to create whatever it's going to be, it's your thing.
You're looking good, girl.
Dude, that's before they got all their information about me and what I'm really passionate about, what I'm interested in, through the lens of another person. And now it's just me talking directly to fans, and I like that.
I think with other vehicles of social media that I'm not that skilled at, I think, things can be taken the wrong way. I think things spin out are so negative. But I do think there's something about Instagram where it's it's just a funny moment. I think it stays to the positive.
Now, in the golden age of Hollywood, stars are carefully managed, and this is probably the biggest difference from what we have in terms of stardom and celebrity today. They all had morality clauses in their contracts, and they wanted a very tight grip. They wanted to arrange their personal lives. Say that you're dating this other star who's also under contract. Of course, now it's a much looser system.
Out of the shower? Suggestive, young lady.
In this day and age with social media, celebrities can very much take control of their own narrative by addressing rumors and addressing gossip on their own accord. And they can do this without going through a publicist, without going through any sort of representation. Whether or not this is always done the right way is up for debate. But certainly it gives them the control and the power back that a lot of the media, particularly celebrity gossip magazines, held in the 80s and the 90s.
Babe, what's happening? What's going on?
It's over between us.
It's over between us?
Yeah.
Oh my God, what are we gonna do?
I felt suffocated.
You felt suffocated by me?
Thanks, Melissa.
Thanks.
But you have to rise above it. You have to distance yourself as a celebrity. You have to just be willing to know that not everyone's going to like every picture you post, everything that you say, every opinion that you have.
No, I try to have a bit of fun. I was nervous to get into it, and I actually enjoy it now. And it's sort of, weirdly, the bonus of it has been that the paparazzi has dropped down, because you can go over there with a long lens and sit behind a car, and then I just go, look, and I get a closer shot than any of them can get, and it's just easier. And they're like, oh, I waited here for 3 hours, I can't sell this photo anymore, he's just put it up for free.
Seriously, I tell him not to post something. 5 seconds later, I see it on Instagram over like 200 views, 2,000.
Hey, I know it's better. It's like medicine. Sometimes it tastes bad, but in the end, it'll make you a better person.
You have 2 million followers on Facebook?
Yeah, nothing. People have. You know what?
You send them all birthday presents?
Selena Gomez has got.
You have to send them all birthday cards?
Sure, but it's fun. They're all over the world.
That's a nightmare.
You read the comments. Oof.
Yeah, this is my idea of social media, right? About this.
I think when celebrities use social media as a tool to make announcements about significant changes in their lives, and that would be things like pregnancies, engagements, weddings, or even deaths, I think that by using social media as a way to do that, there's an intimacy there that the fans feel that they don't necessarily get when they see their favorite celebrities on the cover of a magazine making a very similar announcement. You see Jennifer Lopez's engagement littered amongst a bunch of personal photos from your friends and family. I think it almost makes you feel like she's also too a part of your life in a way that she's actually not.
I love sharing things with the fans that I'm doing, from my life, from even with me and Alex and the kids. It's fun. I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it all. So I love sharing it.
When I was working on The Departed with Jack Nicholson and Leonardo DiCaprio, those are two people that both spoke about how they don't share very much. That way, the audience has a greater ability to suspend their belief in the character that they're playing.
You ready?
I think that there is something to be said for keeping a mystery about who you are. A Kardashian really wouldn't be able to play a role without you going, that's a Kardashian.
I share a lot, which is bizarre, because I've always been kind of the thought that, an actor should keep his personal life as separate as possible so that you're able to enjoy the characters that you see on film.
Celebrities and actors specifically are having to learn how to meld their world of, this is who I am in the real world and this is who I am on screen, and they're having to actually bring it together.
It's really important to make your Instagram an accurate representation of who you are as a person. You see lots of Instagram accounts and you're like, there's no way you're like that in real life. Like, this is the fake you that you want people to see. And I just have really enjoyed the last couple of years kind of shaping my social profile to just be an extension of me. And then I can feel like I can connect with my fans on a more personal level rather than this kind of silly hierarchy thing that Instagram often kind of makes.
How is it to put out a post when you know so many people see what you're up to?
That's a strange thing to comprehend, that, that's a lot of people.
I don't want things to be planned or contrived. I like them to be a thought or a moment, or like life, I suppose.
I think, if anything, I try to use my platform in the best way I can, and especially for the work that I've been able to do that touches on mental health or LGBTQ rights or equality. Those are all really dear and important to me, and if I can be a positive platform in that atmosphere, which can sometimes be negative for people, then that's I guess that's what I'd like to be.
I send out these, sort of like pictorial, visual haikus, they're little poems. There's a story behind any sort of like lost item that I walk down and I'm walking around and I see it and I see, all right, there's a colorful glove. Who owned that glove? Where do they live now? Was it a man or a woman? It's a baby's glove. What happened to the baby? Did the baby's hand get cold? Can they afford to lose gloves like that? I always see the before and the after.
I'm not too bright on the technology part. I get help.
There's a lot about social media that I actually don't understand. Like, I still don't know what DM is.
My dog has his own Instagram. And yes, and so it goes to show how much I love social media.
Twitter does feel a little bit like it's just turned into a bunch of 12-year-olds shouting at each other.
Dwayne Johnson is a phenomenal example of a celebrity who has harnessed the power of social media. He not only engages with his fan base on a daily basis, he has created and crafted an entire marketing machine around himself. So he has massive platform follower base. He also has a production company where he's creating his own content now, and he's added on his own advertising agency component to that production company.
Yeah, you're the sexiest daddy in the world.
You know what it is? It's rewarding, sure. And yes, in a way it's freeing. What I like about Facebook, what I especially like about Twitter and Instagram is that the feedback is instant. So if I say something, right away I'm getting feedback back. I love it. Oftentimes with Facebook, it could become a one-way conversation where someone is just saying one thing, fans comment, but it's not like, it doesn't happen live a lot.
And if we go back to the very beginnings of cinema, the producers were smart enough that they never wanted to name the stars. They wanted to keep them anonymous. They would be independent if they knew their names. So, you know, famously in 1909, Carl Laemmle acquires, you know, Florence Lawrence, and he spreads a rumor that she's died. So then he can take out ads saying, no, she hasn't died. Here, you know, here she is. And that was the beginning of escalating star salaries, the beginning of stars themselves having the power to ask for more money. Since they were what was driving attendance and love for the movies, people wanted to see them over and over again. People wanted to get to know as much as they could. Where are they from? What are their parents? You know, what's their romantic life? And so then we see gossip magazines take off and that whole start.
I think the mystery around celebrity and the business of celebrity has certainly gone away in a big way. I think that a lot of, you know, when we look at what's making headlines now with regards to gossip and tabloids and entertainment media, a lot of those headlines aren't necessarily driven by pregnancies and births and weddings and divorces. A lot of it is actually internal business drama, which are topics that I don't think that the mainstream entertainment media would have touched in the way that they are in 2019, 10 or 15 years ago.
Social media hasn't just increased the access we have to celebrities, it's also redefined the fan experience and made it more intimate. The autograph is dead, it's all about the selfie. So how does this really affect the dynamic between the stars and fans? I went to the Toronto Film Festival to find out.
Oh, the autograph is gone, pretty much. It's like people want selfies.
On any given day, I'll be stopped in the street anytime from 20 to 100 times with people asking me for selfies. And, you know, usually people are pretty nice and it's a quick interaction. They say, can I have a picture? I say, yeah, sure. And we take a picture and then we both go about our business.
It's become the new, nobody wants autographs now. They want your picture for their Facebook page.
I find that cell phone cameras have created an incredibly rude, unconscious behavior in people. It's shocking. I find myself pretty shocked by how much those things seem to have obliterated people's sense of just respect for each other on a person-to-person basis.
When I run into people on the street recently more and more, they'll say, oh, hey, can we take a picture? I'm like, oh, not right now, but you want to talk? And they're like, no, not really. So people don't really want to get to know you. They basically just want to take a picture, which is something I'm learning as well.
Can we take a selfie? It's more about being able to send that away to other people going, look who I just got a photo with. It's not so much about, I'm a big fan of yours.
Yeah.
It's more become like a trading card in a way.
Lost my job because of you. I literally, because you wouldn't let me come see you. Oh my God, you're so fucking pretty. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Wait, can I have a hug?
I think definitely the bragging rights. I met so-and-so. I mean, I'm just happy to say I saw so-and-so. And if I meet them or get the autograph or picture, it's even better. I'm trying to get Johnny Depp. I waited for 4 hours, unsuccessful, but getting to see him, at least that was pretty cool.
I don't need to get selfies with them, but it's nice to get up and close and personal.
You would ask for a picture if they come up?
Oh, if they come up, yes, yeah. I would ask for a picture for sure, if they come to approach me.
And what would you do with the photo?
Probably just post it on Instagram.
I think everybody through social media now, they can be a little bit famous. So it's sort of like it's not just celebrities. They can attach themselves to a celebrity and then that can go viral. And I think people like that. And I think that's sort of what's happened in the last 10 years.
We do it because we like people. We don't want to disappoint them, but we hate it.
It's the, our age. I mean, this is the internet age. What can you do?
I don't think I would like as a celebrity having everyone want selfies with me, but I appreciate the ones that do come out and do it because I think it's nice for the fans.
I bet a lot of them don't, but I think they're kind of required nowadays. I don't think they can have a successful career unless there's somebody, I think Joaquin Phoenix I saw, he just sort of walked by all the press yesterday. So I think if you have a certain amount of like disrespect for your public, maybe they don't care as much. I think you're like a brand, right? So I think you have to put your face on everything, and the more public you are, probably it's going to help your career. And they're with social media, you're plastered all over the place anyways, so.
Most of the times it's great, people, but there are people who would just be like, sorry, excuse me, can I have a selfie? And sometimes when you're like, sorry, no thank you, you're an asshole.
Selfie's probably one of the worst inventions of all time. Certainly in my lifetime in the last 15 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Because people come up to you and they're getting close to you, or just like?
No, it's not really the, hey, how are you engaging with somebody. It's like kind of like, hey, get over here, click, and like they look at the picture, not even, they're not engaging with you so much.
So they're not talking.
It's a bit impersonal. Maybe a tad bit invasive.
Yeah, because what social media really has done for celebrities, it has made their fan base even closer to them. So now they feel like they're friends with that celebrity.
I think having a conversation with an audience is so, for me, fulfilling. I enjoy communicating with people and knowing how they really feel about things, and they will tell you. And it's great to be able to pull the curtain back a little bit, let them into my life, see a little bit behind the scenes. It's like I'm having lots and lots of friends.
I'm absolutely pumped.
In the old days, when pre-social media, you had to, if you liked somebody, you were a fan of somebody, you had to write them a fan letter, and the chance of them ever seeing it or you seeing them was, you knew that it was like sending a message in a bottle and throwing it into the ocean. Whereas now, you can tweet or Instagram or whatever, you can have a direct relationship with somebody in a way that I think that's a good thing.
I think it's interesting that you have someone like a Will Smith, who is a huge A-list actor, essentially commenting on this shift towards social media and saying that that's now going to play a role in the fact that we can't, quote, create movie stars anymore. And I think that there is a lot of accuracy to what he's saying when we look at big celebrities like George Clooney, like Brad Pitt, like Jennifer Aniston, like Johnny Depp. I think that this level of fame that has been achieved by what we call sort of this Hollywood golden set or this Hollywood A-list is shifting in a way that fandom is becoming more piecemealed. And I think specifically on the example of Will Smith and his family, you now have two A-list celebrities who, the wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, is now hosting a talk show, Red Table Talk, which is literally in the living room of the Smith family home. It almost doesn't even feel like you're watching a produced talk show, because it does really feel like you've just stepped into the Smith living room for 20 minutes of your day.
I definitely think we're sharing a lot more, but I think it has a lot to do with the age of transparency and people trying to search and gravitate more to authenticity. So it's really about how you're sharing, if that makes any sense.
Do you use argan oil now? I thought you used the Dr. Bronner.
My mission is to improve lives. So I want to do things that put positivity and positive energy and love into the world.
People won't connect to you in a certain manner if they don't feel like there's an offering of some kind. I will say that. And so as a artist, you just have to think about what that offering is. Whether it's just beautiful pictures on Instagram, that's great too. You know what I mean? But there has to be some kind of peep, a little peek into behind the curtain.
It's however I feel at that moment. You know, I used to put on the bottom my treasure chest, and that's kind of what it is. It's like what I put in my box in my attic, that stuff that I think is fun and that I get to look back on once in a while, and I'm with my wife, I go, oh, remember that, remember that? It's kind of like its own photo album. But we do it for us. We don't really do it for anybody else, but people appreciate it, and I like it because it's authentic, I think.
It was important to me years ago to do my best, hopefully, to establish a presence around the world as myself, where it was just me, because I felt like if I could if I could work hard over the years and create a presence around the world that people felt very comfortable and trusting of me, that they were going to pay money to come see my movies, then I felt like I had a shot at having a career that had longevity in a lot of years.
Sandra, please, just one picture. Then grab it. Somehow I'm still here, which is shocking to me. You know, and I think Billy's in the same, like we just entered at a time when there wasn't the same pressures that are here now. We'd both agree we would never make it if we started now. Never.
Don't have the backbone.
I don't have the stomach for it.
Yeah.
I don't. And who knows? By next year, we both might bail out, going, we can't even make it now.
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm not a social media person, but if you're not, but I read about it. I'm really interested. It's curious to me. If you're not part of that in a really weird way, you literally don't exist. I mean, there's going to be this point we reach where you kind of don't exist. It's not just an expression where you don't exist. You kind of really, literally don't exist.
Hi guys, I just was working out and I found out that we hit 100 million followers on Instagram. I am so blown away.
The stars who have decided to go on Instagram, you know, YouTube, etc., are allowing fans to have a deeper level of connection to them, a kind of direct immediacy, and that's what younger fans are going to want. That's what they're going to demand now that they've experienced this sort of connection and intimate view of everyday domestic life and things like that. So it is, they're in some ways they're reducing the traditional star, greater than us, you know, different than us kind of thing, the extraordinary part. They've emphasized the ordinary part, and they're getting more loyalty from the fans because of that.
What are you doing on that bus? Huh? I haven't got my hair and makeup done yet.
One of the really interesting things is if you were to look at the top 10 most searched people in the world, people like Brad Pitt or Angelina Jolie, they're not even in the top 50. So even though they might be seen as like the A+ list stars or George Clooney, it's people like David Dobrik that you probably never heard of who are more searched than anybody in the world.
Most people out there don't even know who a lot of the people are who are walking the red carpets. And that didn't used to be the case. Everybody across the world, you'd see the Academy Awards and you'd know everybody. And now there's a lot of people that don't know half the people. So it's just different. It's just a different time.
In the social media age, literally every day there's more famous people getting manufactured every single day. So somebody is one viral video away from becoming the next Justin Bieber. So we believe two things. Number one, there are more famous people today than there've ever been in history. And number two, people today are more famous than they've ever been.
Today, lots of celebrities are willing to give up their privacy without blinking. But what are the risks if you invite people into your personal life on a daily basis?
Well, it used to be the first time you heard about an actor doing a movie is when you saw the trailer in a theater. Now you see a million paparazzi photos from the set and people are posting on their Instagram. I think the separation between the actor and the audience has diminished a lot because of social media. So some of the older actors who don't do social media, I think, still have an air of mystery. But I think some of the younger actors today, you can kind of get to know who they are very easily. by the way they choose to share.
I think there's a giant risk now to the future of movie stars as far as having too many people know what's going on in your life. We're seeing this all over the place where anything that happens, people have insight into it immediately on social media, and it's very hard for a celebrity to keep that mystery, to keep that pedestal, to keep the privacy of their life, which really up to this point of social media has been very different from their on-screen life.
Excuse my no makeup and dark circles.
What did you do to die today, the minute or two till 2?
I need some answers.
Nothing like a little home entertainment.
Thank you, Dr. Hirsch. Okay. Feel great, look great. Bye.
Giving up your privacy seems very weird to me. I don't know why anybody would want to do that. And we live in this world now where everyone wants to share everything always, and there's an expectation that you want to participate in that. And whether or not you're a celebrity or famous or recognizable in any way, it's just the expectation is there, and you feel like, well, do I get a choice in that? Like, because I used to be able to say like when and where I had to participate in any of that.
I think it's because it's very unknown to me. I don't know. I'm not very techie. And I don't want to, I just feels like it would be an added pressure that I don't want. And it feels very time consuming. And who wants the stress of you're going to get a like or you don't get a like? I don't know. I trust me, I'm grappling with it. I think about it. I've been told to do it. I've been told not to do it. And so I'm trying to sort of understand my relationship with social media.
Jennifer Aniston's had an extraordinary career because of the massive, popularity of Friends. And when Friends was on, she was a total style fashion icon. I think it's kind of a unique case because of Friends being so popular. So her star image has managed to be attractive, over time, over a course of generations. But I think that's the unusual case. I think there won't be a lot of Jennifer Anistons in the future.
Not everyone is cut out to be hands-on with social media. As we witnessed with some stars, it can go terribly wrong. With millions of followers at a touch of a button, one bad tweet can have colossal consequences.
Today, celebrities can ruin their career before it's even started, or their career can be ruined based off some behavior that they did through social media a decade before.
So, do you guys have a limit for what you can make fun of, or should we be able to make fun of everything?
Should be able to make fun of everything. Should be able to laugh at everything. There is a positive in every negative. I don't care how bad it is. There's something funny in the situation. I don't care how bad it is.
In 2018, Kevin Hart was announced to be the host of the Oscars for the following year, and he had, of course, active social media accounts throughout the years that he has been a comedian and has been famous, and all it took was one nosy person to go through all of his old tweets and find something that appeared to be homophobic, that then put his hosting gig into jeopardy, and he ultimately did not end up hosting the Oscars in 2019, and it turned into a huge public scandal.
The same energy that went into finding those old tweets could be the same energy put into finding the response to the questions that have been asked years after years after years. We feed in the internet trolls and we reward them. I'm not gonna do it, man.
One thing social media does to celebrities is make them more available for public opinion and scrutiny. This means that they need to develop a thicker skin to deal with haters and trolls on a whole new level.
I only went on Twitter because my comrades in my political campaign said this is a very good way to get our message out. And I said, yeah, but if I go on Twitter, I'm going to read all these horrible trolls. And they said, just don't read them, don't read them. But of course, you have a few beers one night and you're feeling low and you have a look. And it's terrible.
You're not great. Blocked.
Yeah.
Do you block people ever?
No, I've muted some people. Now that it's a function on Twitter and Instagram, there's a couple people that I have muted.
The way I look at it is like maybe 1 out of the 5 million responses you might get would actually say that to you in person. The thing is, like, when you hide behind a keyboard, it's very easy to say what you think you believe in.
Do you read comments and do you ever sit down and like?
Sometimes. I'm not one of those people who does it like, every time I post, I look at the comments and blah, blah, blah. No, sometimes I just go back and I go, oh, that was nice. They said that. Oh, they liked it. You know, get a general feel for it, but I don't obsess on it.
What this whole world of social media has done is opened up the world of trolls. And trolls are there, they lay in wait. They are just waiting to grab on to anything that a celebrity says that might be able to be taken in a different way.
I tend not to now look at comments, and especially if I do, it's hard to read something that if it is really about you and it's your worst fear of yourself, of course you're going to take it to heart. It's hard to have a very thick skin about everything.
I'm not sensitive about that stuff. I am, however, when it comes to my kids. Like, that's definitely changed for me. But outside of that, it's fair game. I'm an adult and I can handle it. It's all good.
I think it's really tough for young celebrities now, the younger kids, because of the social media stuff and these cell phones, the cameras. It's very easy to make a little mistake, and to get totally exploded out of proportions, you know, which is something I did not have to deal with when I was growing up.
You post something on social media. Do you think about it a lot? Do you feel there's a responsibility there?
I mean, I think about it to the degree that I won't post any naked pictures of myself. But other than that, I will, for the most part, I just try to be the most genuine version of myself. Whether it's 5 or 3 million, it doesn't really matter. You're still putting it out there in the world, so you have to be aware of what you put out into the world.
I mean, you need a copywriter, and that's why you would have someone come on board to help make sure that what you're writing is actually accurate.
Unless I'm educated about something, then I generally don't give my opinion about it, because that can be irresponsible, you know, and sometimes people do listen to you if you're in the public eye.
Politics has led me to like stop posting, because I said to myself, oh my God, all I'm thinking about is politics. Then stop posting until you have something else to say. And I was like, I have nothing else to say. This is consuming my mind. So I just stopped posting.
What I find interesting is that there's almost a forced social awareness now onto celebrities that if they don't speak out about certain things, that they're almost not relevant, which I find makes a lot of people say a lot of things that they don't really believe in and do a lot of things that are not realistic and not relevant. So I think there's a very strange thing happening with a lot of celebrities right now where they feel this need to be very socially aware, but they don't believe anything that they're saying.
It's grown into a necessity now. Facebook has changed considerably. When I started Facebook, the only person that had 1 million fans was Barack Obama, and he had just been elected. And then I was the only one on Facebook that passed him. It was surreal on a lot of levels, because then you start to think what responsibility is associated with this. Like, if you look at my Facebook page, there's always this theme of love. There's always this theme of multiculturalism. There's always this theme of this little hashtag, lead with love, that I guess has its place in the world.
Yo, what's up, y'all? I'm here to tell you about my brand new movie. Whoa, wait, don't give away too much, man. Yeah, okay.
You know, in a post-Instagram story world, you know, your fans want to see what you're doing all the time. And if you're not giving them that content, you know, they're gonna go get it from somebody else. And ultimately, the more content that you're putting out there today, the more relevant you're becoming, and ultimately, the more people are gonna come to your shows or buy your movie tickets or buy your merch or come to your meet and greets or do any of the other things that people have traditionally done.
Hey guys, Chris Pratt here, backstage of The Masked Singer.
It's a bit of a show, but I guess that is what it is. It's show business, you know. You get people will give you nice clothes and watches. Like, for instance, this watch, Boom, it's on my wrist. I'm gonna walk around and be like, hey, Chris Pratt here. Check out this watch. Yeah, I have watches like this. I don't. It's smoke and mirrors, my friend.
Brands nowadays, they don't want to hire a celebrity just to be the face of their campaign in most cases. They're looking for a celebrity who can actually share, either create content or share the content through their own social channels. And if you are a celebrity who has no social channels, you're going to lose money. And when I say lose money, you can lose tens of millions of dollars of deals, which is not anything to blink at.
The wait is finally over. Performance-inspired nutrition products in all the H-E-B stores.
Got my selfie stick, got myself a nice suit, got my surfboard. What else do you want? I'm pumped. Getting out there.
Another great example of a celebrity that is using, a lifestyle brand to push herself ahead is Kate Hudson with Fabletics, and doing what she's doing in that space, where it kind of seems like that's her primary focus right now instead of acting.
Social media has become nothing but a promotion. Honestly, it's only used now in my world for promotion.
Celebrities are also using their personal social media channels as a way to brand themselves in relation to whatever movie might be coming out. So a great example of this would be Chris Hemsworth, who we all love as the Thor character in the Marvel films, and he's sharing personal videos of his workouts and his workout routines on his social media, and that kind of becomes a way that he has been cross-promoting the Marvel films.
Sometimes fear is a little good, keeps you alive. So Chris, I know you are the most fearless guy in the history of the world.
You had this idea that selfies were the new autograph. When you see somebody famous today, you pull your phone out and you take a selfie. You don't pull out the Sharpie anymore like people used to. Today we have over 18,000 different talent on the platform. Every time they create this piece of content, they're getting shared on social and other people are watching it. They're getting disseminated through their fans' social media accounts. And if you receive a cameo from Charlie Sheen or Snoop Dogg, you become a bigger fan of Charlie Sheen and Snoop Dogg or anybody else on our site.
It seems like the biggest celebrities today are Instagrammers and YouTubers. So what does this mean for the original movie star when they have to compete with the influencers to get attention? And what does it actually mean for their acting careers?
Today, the biggest celebrities, in a way, are produced by YouTube and Instagram. They've got numbers, they've got a rapid, increase in followers that's unlike anything that we've ever seen. They're the lane to celebrity, though, those social media channels. And it's a celebrity that can come fast. It's a celebrity that requires constant maintenance. I mean, the thing that's interesting about those celebrities is they have a way of speaking to the camera, doing the vlogging that is very effective. And so they have loyal fans, their numbers can multiply very rapidly. They don't have a traditional skill. They don't have, except being comfortable on camera. A lot of them, it isn't that they can act or they can dance or they can sing or whatever. And that's part of the rise of the ordinary celebrity.
I recently was producing a movie for a studio, and we were deciding upon which actor should play this part. It ended up by choosing one actress based on how many followers she had on Facebook.
I've heard that.
Because marketing and everything else, the studios for marketing, they find it much easier if you have a large following on Facebook. You can use your Facebook followers as to market the picture, which was an eye-opener for me.
Yes, I can't. There are a lot of people that have said we're going to hire this actress because she has 8 million, 20 million followers, and you're like, that's what quantifies being able to get a job? Hiring acting coaches so that these people can learn how to act just to live up to their 20 million followers. It's not right.
Yeah, I mean, look, I don't think filmmakers or studios are going to hire people to star in films because they have a bunch of Instagram followers. I think it would come down to talent, but popularity is certainly an important part of it. So,
who doesn't love The Rock? The Rock, I think, is one of the most popular people ever on social media. The Rock is a pretty good actor, but if I can have a better actor who has a smaller social media footprint than The Rock, I think that's where the casting director or the producers have to decide. Is The Rock going to bring in people because he can just tweet once or twice and say, come see my movie this weekend? Or do I want a really, really great actor to play the role? I think that most casting directors would prefer the better actor. I think a lot of the producers would prefer the better social media presence.
I feel like a broken record, just steady on repeat. When I say thank you guys so much for the incredible love and the incredible support.
When I first sat down with A-listers like Julia Roberts, Anne Hathaway, and Natalie Portman, they were really reluctant to take part in this new digital trend. But at some point or another, they all changed their minds. So has social media become an unavoidable part of fame?
Well, I haven't chosen to not be a part of it. I kind of don't.
But you don't have a Twitter, do you?
No. I guess there's a directness that I miss in the idea of the internet or Twitter. I picture Twitter on a pager, which I know is also antiquated. I don't know where you Twitter, but there's a lack of human connection to all of it that doesn't appeal to me. I was getting ready for bed and we were laying there together and I was like, look at this picture. What about this picture? Can I post it?
I personally I think because I started my life and my career so much before social media existed that it's not natural to me in any way. Like, I don't feel the need to share anything with strangers.
For me, I've just always adopted the less we know about the actor, the better approach. I think it works really well for comedians and certain personalities, but I don't want people to feel like they actually know me or know that much about my life. So that way when they see me on screen, they can forget me more easily.
I've definitely been on press tours in the past where like studios have said, hey, would you consider setting up a social media account? And I've been like, no, because I will go insane. But yeah, I'm lucky generally. I don't get pushed to do too much of that.
Another great example of this is Eddie Redmayne. He's now fronting an entire Harry Potter franchise. He is the star of the Fantastic Beasts franchise. Harry Potter is one of the biggest entertainment brands in the world, and yet you have a guy who is fronting these films and is not personally on any social media platform. It's fascinating from a marketing perspective, and I assume it must drive the studios crazy.
I think what's interesting is like sometimes studios or things will say, have you thought about it? But you can always tell those people who it's just they're using it to promote something and it doesn't feel authentic. Go to see opening day!
Super psyched.
super psyched emoji, new emoji.
Hashtag blessed.
You're not on social media, are you?
No.
Why not?
Well, I'm a grown man.
A lot of grown men
I
on
know,
social
but it's
media.
too noisy. It's just noise. And the fact that our media now points to Twitter, it's... I don't know of a lot of good things that have come of social media. Human beings acting anonymously is that's a bad start.
What you're seeing is a compounded need to be beautiful with all of social media, because all social media is about, a great deal of it is, look at me, how pretty am I, how many people like me for being pretty.
So you're on Instagram now, Morgan.
You saw me where?
On Instagram.
Oh yeah?
You joined Instagram, right?
What was I doing on an Instagram?
You have an account and I'm following it. Are you not putting out stuff there?
No.
Are you not?
No, I don't do what do you call that?
Social media.
Social media at all.
Why not?
I'm 82 years old. Smarter than that. We received so much fan mail supporting this renewal, and we thank you.
Thinking about what's ahead for celebrity, I do think that the kind of Hollywood career that came out of the golden age is over. It's a relic. Nobody can exist anymore just having a movie, doing publicity for the movie. They can't exist in the realm of keeping a continuing fan base going.
I
think it's a different world, and I don't think we live in a world that's, you know, it's like when people invented the car and some people still wanted to ride a bike. It's fine. It's still a great mode of transportation. It's charming, but everybody else is going other places and doing other things, and that's what I sort of equated to in my mind. The whole world changed, and it's like we're all going to be having different conversations.
If we think about a group of actors like George Clooney, Julia Roberts, Brad Pitt, Angelina Jolie, the sort of success that they attained from being primarily in feature films, doing good performances, you know, staying in front of the public eye, I think that kind of career is over because the celebrity landscape is just too crowded.
I'm really not one to question my path. It's just how do you keep the path interesting and meaningful is more what I think about. And you know, we're always doing our best. So it feels like a continuation of when I started 30 years ago, really.
Probably no one who's just coming up now could sustain or have that kind of career. It's a bygone era, the sort of celebrity that they've enjoyed, and social media has changed the whole landscape of celebrity.
As the digital age continues to grow, will the stars here of Hollywood Walk of Fame be filled with names of Instagrammers and YouTubers? And will the original stars survive the age of transparency? And will this be the star of tomorrow?
The internet has destroyed the mystery with the movie star. I think because people are famous just for being an internet sensation, a YouTuber. That's what is becoming, or that's what's famous. It's just a different time. I do sort of, I really do miss the days without the internet.
Dichotomy of this is you have the influencers who are very much trying to appear like the celebrities on the red carpet, and it seems to be sort of this never-ending cycle between the two worlds where, you know, I think you had sort of the Hollywood realm over here and the influencer realm over here. They seem to be coming closer and closer together.
I was making breakfast for my daughter right before going to school, and she asked me something so simple. She said, "Daddy, do you like social media?" And I was just stumped. I just couldn't even answer the question. I was like, what a brilliant question. Do I like it?
The actor of tomorrow, the one that's going to rise to the stardom, who's going to be starring in the Warner Brothers and Marvel films, they're the ones that are going to actually have to take a stance on right and wrong. They're going to have to be advocates, and that's what they're going to be measured by the Gen Z and the millennial demographics of who actually has a passion and shares their passion and who helps make the world a better place.
Social media has changed the rules of publicity and fan connection, and in that sense, I don't think we're going to ever have Hollywood stars like we did before. It hasn't killed stardom, but it's killed that brand of special Hollywood stardom that came out of feature films, that came out of people with real performing talents, real acting chops. They are now thrown into a sea of people who are celebrities for a whole variety of reasons. It's a bigger ocean full of competition for the spotlight. And yeah, so I would say social media has killed the Hollywood star. We're not going to see the same kind of stardom happen again.
It's a new world.